This is Jarrod Horak live at Pimlico Racecourse, Thursday of Preakness Week, and this is going to be my Preakness Top Choice video. I'm going to go through the field and give out my top choice. Now, we started with 9 horses earlier this week. The morning line favorite number 4, Muth, had to scratch out of the race. He came down with a fever. So now we have 8 horses, and there's a good likelihood of a wet track on Saturday. Now let's go through the field. Number 1, Mugatu. He's going to be a long shot in here. He doesn't really have any speed. He's 1 for 12 lifetime. He hasn't won on dirt. His lone win was on synthetic ground. So he's one that's going to try to get involved late, but there's probably not going to be enough pace help. Number 2, Uncle Heavy. He's 2 for 2 on a wet track. So he could be one on a wet track that could be worth playing, especially underneath in the exotics. Irad Ortiz Jr. is going to ride. He's going to try to get involved from off the pace. Number 3, Catching Freedom. He was 4th in the Kentucky Derby, 1st in the Louisiana Derby for trainer Brad Cox. Flavien Prat is aboard. He likes to do his best running from off the pace. In the Louisiana Derby, he was in the Risen Star Stakes, he was 3rd, and that was a wet track. So we know he handles a wet track. And coming back in 2 weeks, he wasn't really supposed to come back in 2 weeks. He's one that they were going to wait to the Belmont Stakes, and then they were going to say, well, maybe we'll run in the Matt Winn, and then we'll run in the Haskell. But then they decided, no, we're going to come back in 2 weeks. He's doing well. So watch out for Catching Freedom in the stretch. Number 4, Muth has scratched. Number 5, Mystik Dan, Kentucky Derby winner. And he's one that likes to rally up the inside, stalk the pace, move up the inside. That's exactly what he did in the Southwest Stakes in the mud, and he romped that day. In the Kentucky Derby, same kind of trip. So that's the kind of trip Brian Hernandez Jr. would like to see from him. And if he can run that kind of race, he could win this race as well. He's coming back in 2 weeks. Some of these other runners are fresher. Seize the Gray. He's coming back in 2 weeks. He ran on the Kentucky Derby undercard, winning the Grade 2 Pet Day Mile. He handles a wet track. He's got some running style versatility. He's one that can be up on the pace, but then he can also rally a bit off the pace. He's going to have to run a bit faster. Seize the Gray stablemate, Just Steel, for trainer D. Wayne Lukas. He was 2nd in the Arkansas Derby behind Muth, and he finished in front of Mystik Dan that day. And then he was 17th in the Kentucky Derby. He got caught in a speed duel that day. They want him to relax a bit from off the pace. They want him to stalk the pace. He's reconnecting with his winning rider, Joel Rosario, and he's one that will probably stalk, try to pounce in the stretch. We have Tuscan Gold. He only has 3 lifetime starts for trainer Chad Brown. Tyler Gaffalione is going to ride. He was 4th in his career debut. His stablemate Sierra Leone won that race. And then in his 2nd career start, he was impressive in a maiden race. And then in his 3rd career start, he was a wide 3rd, stalking the pace in the Louisiana Derby. In that Louisiana Derby that won by Catching Freedom. So in that race, he ran a quality race, his first stake start. He's improving. His speed ratings have gotten better in each of his 3 starts. He's training well for this. He should sit a decent stalking trip from an outer post. He's never run on a wet track. Another horse that hasn't run on a wet track is number 9, Imagination, and he could be the one to catch for trainer Bob Baffert. Now, it looked like originally Muth was going to be the one to catch, but now Imagination, with Frankie Dettori aboard, breaking from the outside post, is probably going to try to go wire to wire. And he's one that always finishes in the top 2, 2 wins and 4 seconds from 6 lifetime starts. He was 2nd in the Santa Anita Derby. Prior to that, 1st in the San Felipe Stakes. So he's one that's very consistent, and he's going to try to go and wire the field. So that's the field for the 2024 Preakness Stakes, and my top choice is going to be the 8 Tuscan Gold. I think he has a lot of upside. Chad Brown's won the Preakness twice, with horses making their 4th lifetime start, and at least 6 weeks between races. This horse has 8 weeks between starts, and he's one that certainly could be a big threat moving forward. If he can just run a little bit faster than he did in the Louisiana Derby and run up to a career top performance, I think he can win this Preakness Stakes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content, and go over to the runawayrhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested in my full card analysis for Preakness Day, Black-Eyed Susan Day, and then for Belmont Stakes Week, the 4-day Belmont Stakes Festival. And until I see you next time, good luck in the races and good luck in the Preakness.